Hell of a thing. A man decides to attack pro-Palestinian protester, put him up full mass. We're seeing more and more of this. Austin, Texas is where I'm taking you. Bert James Baker is accused of attacking a group of young Muslims after a pro-Palestinian protest, stabbing and seriously injuring a 23-year-old pro-Palestinian American. Okay? February 4th, around 7 p.m., 4 young Muslim Americans who had just attended a protest in support of Palestinian human rights, which, by the way, everybody should be supportive of that, Palestinian human rights, were driving home when a white male riding a bicycle, later identified as Bert James Baker, allegedly attempted to rip a flagpole with a Palestinian scarf reading "Free Palestine" off the car. So this is destruction of property already. According to the victims, Baker repeatedly screamed the N-word and other obscenities, opened the passenger door, pulled one of the victims out of the car, and physically attacked him. The 3 others in the car say they then exited the car and fought off Baker. After Baker appeared to be subdued, he allegedly pulled out a knife and stabbed one of the young men in the chest, breaking through one of his ribs. Stabbing victim, again, subdued Baker, who was arrested after police arrived on the scene. The father of the victim reports that he has undergone a successful surgery and is recovering at the hospital. I'm going to go to a statement that was made, but before I go there, I want to remind you of the irony and the insanity that is before us. A man who I promise you is a Trump voter gets upset at a group of Americans. I know it's contextualized as Muslim Americans. Understand, they are Americans, right? So a group of Americans who are standing up for human rights. They're standing up for human rights. This person gets so offended by this message, he decides to impromptu risk his own life in order to kill 4 human beings. He wants to destroy them. He wants to harm them. This is called a trigger, right? Where do triggers come from? They come from indoctrination. It's called programming. Your mind has programming. My mind has programming, your mind has programming. It's called the subconscious. And that subconscious is always learning, even when your conscious mind is not quite listening. The subconscious is always accepting information and analyzing, even when your conscious mind is not. So all of this racist rhetoric, all of this pontification from politicians about white supremacy, all of this protection of neo-Nazism and this othering of various cultures, well, their programming sticks. It's called radicalization. And you're seeing this in real time. There's more. In a statement, CARE National Deputy Director Edward Ahmed Mitchell said, quote, "This apparent act of hate in Austin appears to be the latest incident of hate motivated by the rise of anti-Palestinian racism and Islamophobia. From the murder of a 6-year-old Wadi outside of Chicago to the shooting of 3 students in Burlington, Vermont, far too many incidents of violence against Muslims, Palestinians, and others who support Palestinian human rights have occurred over the past several months. Those responsible for this violence must be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, and those fomenting the hate that leads to this violence must be condemned. We concur." He noted that CARE recently released new civil rights data showing that it has received 3,578 complaints during the last 3 months of 2023 amid the ongoing wave of anti-Muslim and anti-Palestinian hate. Austin police, they should consider this a hate crime. So the Austin Police Department called a weekend stabbing near the University of Texas at Austin campus bias motivated. Okay, bias motivated. saying it will be reviewed by the Hate Crimes Review Committee. APD said once the committee reviews the details of the case, that information will be given to the Travis County DA's office and or the county attorney's office. Quote, it is up to the prosecuting office to enhance the offense to a bias-motivated crime, not the investigative unit, the police department explained via a news release. However, they are allowed to submit it in their investigative notes and their investigative conclusion. They can submit how, why, and what, all right? They can do that. It's permissible. It's done all the time. Sharon, insane. Thoughts here?
What you're really talking about, this indoctrination, is the symptom. You know, if you live in Flint, Michigan, you drink the poisonous water, well, the fetal death rates are up by 58, 60%. It's cause and effect. And it's really, I love scientists, you're one, Doc, but I don't even know if we need our best scientists on this. This is what they could have told you, okay, give it a little bit of time and this will be the result, particularly when we live in a country that was built on racism. It's just sad that we're living with this and promoting it.
Yep. The DNA, that's what you're talking about. It was built upon a particular idea that becomes the DNA of a nation. But you can nurture away from the nature. The nature is there, but you can nurture away from the nature. And that's what people like you and I and many others are trying to do. All right.